Morning, Joe and the Pro. It's Tuesday. I'm the Prez, the legend himself, Dave Cokin, matching his hat to his shirt. You got baby blue shoes on?
No, I don't have any shoes on.
Well said. How are you, Dave?
I'd like to get hot again. It was a great run for a few months. I've been given a little back the last week, which is no fun. So hopefully that turns tonight.
Well, you know what? I'm with you there, dude. I mean, I had a rough start to 2019. I have turned it around. I'm rolling in hockey right now, but I did get a push on the under in the Vegas Knights game. Jesus, Dave, I was out last night. I checked the score. It was 1-0. 11 minutes to go in the second period. I checked the score again. 5 minutes later, it was 2-2.
Yeah. There was a little bit of an explosion. And the Knights were not sharp last night. This was not one of their better games. And, when you looked at the schedule, if they were going to have a flat spot, this was it. And they did, unfortunately for them, play according to form. My NHL, I got no complaints there. That's been continue to be good. I need to pick up the college basketball.
You'll be fine, Dave. I mean, we'll all go through ups and downs. And,
Long season.
Everyone who comes on Morning Joe and the Pro goes on an extremely hot run. It's just a fact. Although I have not kept statistics on any of that.
Oh, no, I'll take your word for that. I'm happy with that.
Good. What we're going to do today, viewers, and we're going to start doing this regularly now that NFL is all winding down and college football is in our rear view mirror. I'm going to go through what's going on at WagerTalk, the website. I got a promo for you all for Dave Cokin. And then Dave and I are going to talk some college hoops. Dave, let's start with Marco D'Angelo. Marco in college hoops is on a 17-4 run. He won again last night with Western Kentucky. Went 9-4 last week. The guy's just in the zone right now. 17-4, as I said, in his last 21 college hoops plays. And he is a college basketball game of the week tonight up at WagerTalk.com. That's our featured college basketball play at WagerTalk.com. In hockey, I'm on a 5-1 run. I've got a 4-unit total up tonight, as well as Carm. He's 17-7 in NHL totals on the season. He's got an NHL total up at WagerTalk.com. So make sure to get down on that. And for you, my friend, I got a great promotion. I'm going to read it. And I never read. But, our fearless leader, Johnny Detroit, has now taken over the promotions for Morning Joe and the Pro and sends them to me overnight. So I've got a promotion for you and one for me, and then we're going to get into some college hoops. Dave Cokin's promo. Get 3 days of Dave for only $29. The regular price is $69. That's 3 days of Dave Cokin for $29. Use the coupon code DC29. I think that's a monster promotion, Dave. I hope people take advantage of it. And you know something? Usually people wait till a handicapper is smoking hot at the top of their run before they buy them. I think this is a great time to hop on the Dave Cokin train. You've been doing this for, 60, 70 years. You're absolutely a legend in this field. And I think the best time to play you, believe it or not, is when you're towards the end of a bad run.
There's something to be said for that. It's the old thing about if you get to the party after it's well underway, you miss the best part of the party. You want to get there when it's beginning.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on that. I got to wait for the girls to get drunk. DC 29. $29 for Dave Cokin.
That's one of the worst myths out there, by the way.
Which
drunk
one?
Girls? God.
Girls getting drunk?
There is nothing that is a bigger pain in the ass than drunk girls. Okay.
You could have just ended it girls. You didn't even need the word drunk.
No, I sober women are fine with me. I'm not talking about teetotalers, but man, they get.
Let it out, Dave. Let it out.
Well, it's just no. That's just no. I've never been out with a guy at a date, so I can't. I can only speak for the one gender, but they're not fun when they get to be inebriated on the female side. At least that's always been a myth. Oh, get her, get her a few cocktails. You get her a few cocktails because I'd rather not. I don't want to deal with what very frequently takes place when too many cocktails have been ingested by the female.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
The promotion for the Prez. Get 30 days of all my sports. $199. The regular price is $325. Use the promo code PREZ199. And Dave, that includes all my 5-unit plays, my hockey, and both my basketballs, and the Super Bowl, which I will have at least 10 props for. And I am rolling in hockey, NBA, and winning in college hoops. So please take advantage of that. Prez199. Dave, let's talk some hoops, my friend. Let's start with the Boise Air Force game. Air Force 7-11 on the season. Boise 8-10 on the season. Boise is 2-4 away. We've got a home team at +4, Dave. An over and under at 134. Boise's lost their last 2 in a row. Air Force has won 2 of their last 3. What do we do in this game?
For me, it's a matchup. And I think this is a team that Boise can do well with. When they get sped up, their offense just isn't good enough to create good scoring opportunities. They have a tendency to rush and just fire up bad shots, for lack of a better phrase. And we saw it big time in the second half of the Fresno State game, which was a winner for me on Saturday. I've been pretty well locked in with this Boise team, done pretty well with them. And this is a matchup where I think the opponent offers them a favorable set of style, or a favorable style. Air Force is not going to speed Boise up. So it's a game where to me, the athletic talent of Boise should shine through. I don't think road trips are not that big a deal in the Mountain West. This is the difference between league play and non-league play is these teams are all used to going to these sites, so it's no big deal. Air Force has shown some improvement lately, and they had an absolutely amazing game against UNLV. But I would look for the better, more physically talented team to come out on top here. Numbers not too bad. I would look at the road favorite here, Boise State.
And Boise did win their last 2 road games in San Jose State U and Wyoming.
So if you can't win those, you better quit playing basketball because San Jose and Wyoming are the absolute bottom of the Mountain West.
Well said. Let's talk about the number 6 seed, Minnesota, 17 and Michigan, 17-1, hosting Minnesota, who are 14-4 on the season. Minnesota has struggled on the road, but they've only had 4 road games all year, Dave. Michigan is a big favorite, -12.5. The over and under is 137.5. Real close game between the two of them the last time they played. Went to overtime. Michigan won by 3. And Michigan's coming off of their first loss of the season.
And there's the key. And it's a loss that they weren't happy about. John Beilein actually lost his mind at one point during the game. He was wrong. The refs happened to get the incident right. Minnesota, meanwhile, coming off a win, but they were down most of the game against Penn State. And you shouldn't be struggling with the Nittany Lions at this point. They're the worst team in the Big Ten. I think Minnesota's running into a buzzsaw here. Michigan's played as well as anybody in the country this season. I don't think focus is going to be an issue with them coming off their first loss of the season. And to me, this looks like a really bad spot for a Golden Gophers team that's already shown that they can get blown out. And I think that's what's going to happen tonight. I think there's a good chance Michigan really lays one on the Golden Gophers here. I might like the first half better than the full game because I think Michigan is probably going to come out storming.
I love that call.
Get him for the first 20 minutes and then, worry about the full game after that. But I think you'll see Michigan at their best early.
I love that call, Dave. And you're right about Minnesota having the ability to get blown out. I mean, they lost 95-68 against Illinois. They lost 82-67 against Maryland. And that was their last two losses, and both recent. I like that pick a lot. Let's talk about the number 13. Double T. T squared. Texas Tech 15-3 on the road against Kansas State. Kansas State is 14-4 on the season. We got a very short favorite at home tonight, -1. And Dave, an extremely low total at 120. You look at this game and, Texas Tech is not a scoring juggernaut, but Kansas State have put up some numbers. I mean, they got a 74 against Oklahoma. When I see 113s to 120s, I normally tend to go on the over. Texas Tech coming off 2 losses in a row. Kansas State 4 wins in a row. What do we do in this one?
Well, Kansas State's hot streak has coincided with them getting one of their best players back. He'd been out. Team was struggling. He's come back. Team is rolling. I mean, the Wildcats are hot right now. Texas Tech, I lost with the full disclosure here. I had my 5% play on Texas Tech at Baylor on Saturday, and it came out and looked absolutely great. They're up 13. Everything's rolling. They're turning the other team over, making shots, and they went cold on offense and went from 13 up to 13 down, and that was the end of the basketball game. Baylor's surprising me right now. A nice win for them at West Virginia last night, by the way. As for Tech, you've got to think Chris Beard is going to demand. He's a very fiery coach, and you would think he's going to get a much stronger effort out of his team here. Coming off what I think was a bad – prior to that wasn't a bad loss. The one at Baylor, I think he's going to look at it as a bad loss. The problem is Kansas State has really put it together. And I don't like getting in front of a hot team, especially when it's more of a reputation game. Why aren't they laying a few points here? Like 3 or something like that. Looks too easy to me to take Texas Tech off the 2 losses. I think they're going to catch another loss tonight. I think Kansas State will pull this game out. It's going to be a defensive struggle. Now, the total is very low, as you said, away from that. But I think in a punching match, I mean, just a slugfest here, defensive slugfest, I think Kansas State wins it.
He's Dave Cokin. I'm the Prez. Get 3 days of all of Dave's plays for only $29. Use the promo code DC29. And 1 month of all my plays for $199. Use the promo code PREZ199. Dave, one hockey game, and then we'll call it a day.
All right.
San Jose lost 3 in a row against Arizona. Tampa Bay, every team loses to. And then Florida, they really haven't been in any of those games. This is their 4th road game. But they're playing a Washington Capitol team that have lost 5 in a row and got blown out by Chicago.
Yep.
Couldn't put 1 point goal up against the New York Islanders. Looked horrendous against Nashville and probably had their worst game of the season against St. Louis. What the hell is going on in Washington, and who is going to win this hockey game?
I think I'd lean to the Sharks. They weren't that bad last night. It was 2-2 go to the third period. And Evander Kane, who had a memorably filthy third period, gets a double minor for high sticking early. And the Panthers put 2 goals up on the 4-minute power play, and then they got another goal late. What's happened here, by the way, the Panthers are a completely different team since Vincent Trocheck got back on the ice. He is an important guy for them. San Jose, look, I mean, it was an awful third period, and I still have my doubts about how good the Sharks are. I don't like their goaltending, and I think maybe their lack of team speed is going to get them in trouble later on. But they're still a pretty good team, and I don't know what the problem with the Capitals is, but it looks like they're starting to feel the effects. And look at the standings, by the way. of Barry Trotz not getting paid by the Capitals, stupidly not getting paid, taking his talents to the Islanders, and the Islanders now look like they're a threat to win the Eastern Conference with a roster that they shouldn't be winning the Eastern Conference with.
They don't have one star player.
Trotz doesn't need stars. He proved that for years in Nashville. Finally won the whole thing last year, and he did have star power last year, no question about that. This guy's a great coach. The Capitals appear disorganized right now and in need of the All-Star break, maybe more than any other team in the league.
Well, and the Leafs.
Well, the Leafs are just going to – we've talked about the Leafs. And with the Leafs, they have a personnel issue. Their defense stinks. And until they fix that, you're going to go through slumps like this. I would say I didn't play it, but I think San Jose is the side I'd look at.
He's Dave. I'm the Prez. It's Morning Joe and the Pro. Dave, thank you so much for joining us. Listeners, we're up at WagerTalk.com every day, Monday to Friday, and our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV. That's a wrap. Andrew and Alex on Puck Time today should be up online before 3 p.m. Eastern. Dave, thanks again, brother, and take care of yourself.
See you, Press.